Senator and Vice Presidential hopeful J.D. Vance was recently asked about how he can help make conservatism cool again.
How do you guys make that pitch of, okay, you guys are great on policy. It seems like when you look at the polling data, the American people actually agree with you on policy. But there's that other element. People vote based on how they feel. And I'm not just talking about when they go to the grocery store or anything like that, but they need to connect with you. So how do you layer good policy with good feelings as well? Because that seems to be an Achilles heel of the Republican Party. Even the guys I talked to yesterday, they said, listen, they come off a little corny sometimes, a little cheesy sometimes. So how do you make being a Republican, a conservative, cool again?
Okay, so I love this, right? Now, before I show you his answer, I'm just going to come out and say it. Conservatives have never been cool. Okay, conservatism is the antithesis of cool. You guys ain't the rebels, all right? No, they're the people that people rebel against, okay? The conservatives were like the redcoats, okay? The revolutionaries in the American Revolution were the left, okay? That they were not the conservatives, okay? Conservatism is all about conserving the status quo, and generally, status quo not as cool, okay? Again, I love this idea though that conservatives are like, no, we're punk, we're cool. Punk is incredibly liberal, okay? It is very different than the mainstream. In fact, it's out of the mainstream. But this also reminds me of Paul Ryan, right? Paul Ryan's like, oh, you know what? I listened to Rage Against the Machine. Yeah. Do you not understand that? Like, you don't understand that you're on the side of the machine. Okay. How do you not get that? How do you not understand that? Look, the counterculture has always been progressive. Why is that? Because it always is driven by new ideas spread by younger people who are outside of the mainstream. That's what's cool. Now, who is outside of that now? Still, gay people, trans people, racial minorities, right? Out of the mainstream. Those are the ones who tend to support the left Democrats more than anyone else, even if they're obviously not perfect. I mean, you ask any person on the left, especially a leftist, like what their opinion of the Democratic Party is. Oh boy. You might not like some of the answers if you're a mainstream Democrat, but a lot of their criticisms are pretty legitimate. That said, you're still going to find a lot of those people that are going to vote for Democrats over Republicans, okay? And consider Democratic ideas, policy positions to be much, much better. So now, the fact that conservatives have lost a lot of ground on social issues like same-sex marriage and trans rights, at least on the national level, that doesn't mean, right? And by the way, like, same-sex marriage is mainstream. Gay people consider, are like approval of gay people mainstream, but that doesn't mean conservative Republican ideas that are anti-gay, that are bigoted, anti-trans are suddenly cool again. No, they were never cool to begin with. There's nothing cool about racism, homophobia, transphobia, or sexism. And yet, all of those things you can find in the Republican Party, in their official party platform. And in a lot of the things that they say as well, that stuff is more uncool than ever, which brings me to J.D. Vance's answer.
Well, the way that I do it, Lawrence, and this is just my approach, is that I talk about my family and I talk about my personal history, and I try to make people understand that we care about how this country is governed because we know that real people suffer. I mean, I think if you're, a strong man at a barber shop, one of the things you believe in is that you ought to take care of people, you ought to protect people, and you ought to get American leaders in there that are going to make your community stronger and more prosperous. And so how can we better make that case than talk about the ways in which our leadership can affect the lives of real people?
And swing and a miss. His answer sidesteps the question, right? Question is, okay, how are you going to basically get people on your side? How are you going to appeal to people, right? And show them that conservatism is cool. Well, I mean, he can't answer it because conservatism by nature is not cool, okay? Now, that said, if you do want to appeal to people, which generally is kind of what the question was geared towards, like, hey, we have this vision, we have these policies. How do you appeal to people, right? Well, Republicans run into a problem there because it turns out their policies are deeply unpopular. Allowing parents to apply public funds to private or religious schools, not supported by the majority. Tariffs, not supported. Prayer in public schools, not supported. This is all policies proposed by Trump. Easing regulations for more drilling. Public school teachers to be armed. Ending the automatic granting of citizenship. This is birthright citizenship. Not a majority. Ending all aid to Ukraine. Not a majority. Eliminating mail-in voting. Not a majority. Banning critical race theory. Not a majority. Okay? And it just keeps going down and down and down. 9 of the 28 Trump proposed policies, those are the ones that got net positive support. Everything else was not supported. Okay? Not supported. So not only do Republicans suck on policy, and they're not supported by the majority of the American people, they're also deeply weird and uncool, going after minorities. Okay, Vance was talking about childless cat ladies and the need to ban abortion so that women have more babies. They're obsessed with wombs. Okay, they're obsessed with wombs. They're obsessed with going after trans people. Okay, now I happen to think that there's apparently nothing more uncool than losing your fundamental rights to bodily autonomy. I'm just saying, like, not cool, not cool. But getting back to Democratic policies, everybody likes child tax credit. Okay, that promotes family without having to take away fundamental rights. Everyone likes paying less for health insurance, having a cap on how much you pay for prescription medication. People want more funding for affordable housing. That's also pro-family. Paid family leave, it's right in there. Higher minimum wages for workers. These are popular things. And by the way, a lot of Republican voters support these things. In fact, in the battleground states of Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, showed a significant majority of voters, including a slight majority of Republicans, supported raising the minimum wage to $17 an hour. Yeah, 56% of Republicans. Now, 55% of Republicans supported 1% surtax on the capital gains, dividends, and other investment income above $1 million a year. Yeah, that's like a Robin Hood tax right there. That's like an Elizabeth Warren policy position. Okay, that's an AOC policy position. All right. That 55% of Republicans are like, oh yeah, no, yeah, let's do a financial transactions tax. Okay, so there you go. I mean, normie Democratic policies, they win elections, and it's because they're good policy. They get the majority support of people because they're good policy. And when policies help average people, turns out people think that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's the problem. It's the problem with Republicans is that they don't have good policies and they're weird and they're focused on uncool things and doing uncool things. And so, and those uncool things are spreading lies and hatred about people who are different that have no impact on your life whatsoever. How does a trans person existing, how does that negatively impact your life? It doesn't. A gay person getting married, how does that negatively impact your life? It doesn't. It doesn't. All right? Leave other people alone. That's it, because it's not cool to go in and start, messing with other people's personal business in their lives. And so this is why, this and all of this is why the right wing is just never going to be cool. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.